Hey team, Brody Richards here. Come to you for the Film Slice podcast. Jordan's just walked in. That means that we're all professionals here, except for him.
That's it. We all made it on time, didn't we, Broadman? You and me.
Made it on time. Made it on time.
Gents.
Skyscraper. We're doing Skyscraper this week.
Skyscraper. Hey team, Angus Strachan here, and welcome to the Film Slice podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Hello.
And Bro Diddly Doo Broadmeister.
And Angly Wangly Pangly Wangly Sankly.
That's me. How are we doing, lads?
Doing pretty
I'm doing quite horribly, actually. I can't turn my neck. I had a weekend out of the snow, because, you know, I run around. Yeah, I travel a bit. And yeah, I slept weirdly. Nothing to do with the snow. Just want to put that in there.
Nothing
slept
to do
weirdly,
with the trip. You just slept.
And now I can't move my neck. So I feel
How do you
a lot
fuck that
like
up?
I feel like a lot like George Clooney in Batman.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Like the
Clooney
Michael
Batman,
Keaton, where you can't turn your neck at all.
Yeah, that's the one. This week we're reviewing Skyscraper.
We are
Kane Dogs.
scraping that right off the pavement.
Want to scrape
We're
up
gonna
an
scrape that.
IMDb.
It is a bit of an ambiguous title.
It is.
I didn't really know what was in store for me.
Yeah, no, I thought it was just
to
a
see
documentary about buildings.
I thought it was about a guy who could fly.
It's not.
I
Very
then
much not.
also thought it was about someone who painted landscapes but hated the top parts of them.
I thought it was like a godlike being that actually just scraped holes in the sky to let the sun through.
Interesting. Interesting.
Right.
I heard that it was about jets that would fly through clouds, therefore creating that small air pocket in there so you can see the sky beyond them. Skyscraper, everyone.
I thought it was just about a guy that sort of scrapes up like shit pavement on the top of roofing.
Fair enough. I thought it was about a guy who cleaned up the murder of a girl called Sky.
All right, you win. All right, the IMDb. A father goes to great lengths to save his family from a burning skyscraper.
Great
also a
length,
husband.
probably about 201 levels worth of length. Am I right?
Nearly an entire, more than a foot worth, Angus. Oi. This movie is Die Hard. It's just Die Hard, but with Dwayne Johnson in it.
I don't think so.
Except worse.
Yeah, it's worse. This
and
movie
with
is
fire.
It's not a Christmas movie, let's be honest.
this
A
movie-
lot of fire.
This movie is to Die Hard what
This isn't a Christmas movie, yeah.
This movie is to Die Hard what I think the Meg will be to Jaws.
Which,
Fair enough.
yeah, I saw the trailer.
And what
is-
Transporter is to Fast and Furious.
Which is just someone saying, "Hey, remember that really good movie? Let's do that again, but we'll make everything bigger." And we'll
Put
make
Dwayne in it.
We'll make
He's
Bruce
bigger.
Willis
He's bigger.
bigger.
His family's bigger. He's
Yeah.
got kids now. They're bigger.
We'll put it in a bigger building
Building's bigger. There's fire in it. That's more big.
that's more big,
It's more bad guys.
more fiery.
Wind turbines.
They're the big wind turbine. It's just
Big roller duct tape.
It honestly felt like felt just like it felt like someone just took Die Hard and threw one of those Ant-Man things that make something grow.
All that needed to happen was Dwayne Johnson to yell out, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!"
Except he
Or
needed to
stick
yell out
something to his
what's,
back.
what's the bigger version of a yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker?
Yuppie-ki-woo, motherfucker!
Fuckity fuck you, motherfucker. just double down.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Brody.
Angus.
Angus.
Mate.
Sorry, I just wanted to be a part of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
Fair enough.
you're
Can I
not.
be a part of this podcast, guys?
Yeah. Can you
Well-
turn your neck?
No.
Out of the club.
I think you just answered your own question
Come on,
there.
guys.
Jordan,
Yes,
tell
Brody.
us what's the segment we usually do?
Kane
you
Dogs,
see the
what-
movie?
when did you see the movie, what did you think?
Wow. Look, I may have shown up half an hour late.
You do need me.
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? No, the shit.
Kane Dogs, when did you see the movie, what did you think?
I saw the movie Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is 3 days ago.
3 days ago. I thought it was rubbish. And a lot shorter. I didn't realize this movie only goes for like an hour and a half. I expected it to be a lot longer. But yeah, I thought it was rubbish.
Breadman, when did you see the movie, what did you think?
Saw it Thursday, and I thought it was
So 4 days ago.
a 5. It was okay. It
was
was
a fiver.
nothing.
Out of
I don't know.
like 23?
In the middle. It was right in the middle. So if you've got
Yeah.
a playground and you're on a seesaw,
Yeah.
You're on the seesaw by yourself in the middle. That's where you are.
You know
right
what? This
now.
movie is well described as being alone in a playground on a shit seesaw.
No, I mean, it's a perfectly swinging seesaw.
The
You're just
seesaw
in the middle.
is fine. The seesaw is top quality.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're sitting in the middle of it.
Okay. No, look, this is to me. This is someone sitting on the edge of a seesaw by themselves, alone, and it's nighttime and it's
The high
raining.
side or the low side?
Well, I think we...
Depends how light you are, I guess.
I think we get two very specific glimpses into mine and Jordan's childhoods. Both alone, both sitting on seesaws,
Yep.
but very differently.
One semi-optimistic or one just in the dirt.
Just gonna do it.
I saw this movie this morning.
Nice.
Yeah, and I actually had a fun time with it. I didn't go in expecting a lot.
No.
And I think for what it was Birdman, as you said, fine. I think it was okay. I think there wasn't anything big out of it. I think I've definitely seen worse movies with The Rock in it. This definitely isn't his worst one. So, yeah, I was
Central Intelligence. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
You got a better case of that one too.
room temperature pizza.
Yeah, which is fine. Lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram and no longer Twitter what movie we're reviewing.
That's becoming abundantly clear.
And ask our slicey slices what they thought of the film.
And no one writes back.
And no one writes back.
And when they do, it's not related to the question you've posed.
That's right. Guess how many
One.
comments
I'm
we
going to
got?
say 3.
2.
Oh.
You guys suck at this.
for the past 5 weeks, and it's always been 1.
You guys really suck at this.
Wait,
Alright.
can I at least suggest that none of them answer the question we've posed?
You're wrong.
Oh.
All right, so
Damn
we've
it.
got
We're shit at this.
We've got from second time commenter Wreck My Podcast. I
Okay.
talked about them on last week's episode. They say it's a great flick about the inherent danger of technological advancements being the downfall of humanity. I haven't seen it yet, but I assume that's what it's about.
Well,
I mean, Skynet, Skyscraper. Coincidence? I think not.
look, I love these guys.
That's very good. That's very
That's
true.
great. I mean,
That is a
ultimately,
great message.
they touch on something far more deeper than this movie ever really does.
Yeah.
Good on them.
And our second comment is from Her Majesty's Wardrobe. It says,
I know her.
haven't
She's
seen
great.
it yet, but I think Jordan hated it. Her
Yep.
Majesty Wardrobe, you were right.
Yeah, see, so that's one of my best friends,
job.
and she's seen a few movies with me, and she's the one that said that I hate everything I see.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, you do.
And she predicted that, and she was
Can
correct.
confirm.
Yeah.
That's what our Slicey Slices had to say this week on Skyscraper. Wait, guys, guess what?
What?
We just got another comment.
Oh.
This is a late comer to the Slicey Slices.
This person's been listening to the Film Slice podcast.
Ready? So this comes from FML Pod, another podcast on
my life,
Instagram. Suss them out. Let them know if we're any good.
It stands for Film Movie License, Brady, not Fuck My Life.
Oh, I was going to say it's going to be for Mary Lookabla.
Yep, you've nailed it.
Hey.
Angus,
Bloody got it.
This is what FML Pod says. Woof. Birdman. Would you recommend it, and who would you recommend it to?
I'd recommend this to anyone, but don't see it at the films. Cinemas. What? don't see it at the films.
I'd recommend
Don't
this
see
to
it at
anybody,
the
but don't
films,
see it.
everyone. Yeah, don't see it at the cinemas.
Yep.
Yeah. Even though the CG is good, and it is really good CG.
It ticks the Brody CGI list. Yeah.
There's nothing else. Just wait for it to be on Netflix. Don't go out and pay for this
Fair.
unless you're bored.
Fair.
Yeah, look, I'd watch this on Netflix whilst doing something else, but don't pay for it.
I'd watch this on Netflix if I didn't have to watch it.
The thing is, it's a type of film where there's exposition with the scenario throughout the film every 40 seconds, and as a result, you could not watch the first 35 minutes of this movie and still get exactly what's going on very quickly.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, look,
So you would treat this as a podcast and listen to it
Yeah.
while you're doing your washing. Or
basically, yeah. I don't
enough.
think this film really requires more than that.
I definitely would recommend the Film Slice podcast over just listening to Skyscraper.
I'd recommend the Film Slice
Shorter.
podcast.
Possibly funnier,
Yeah.
cheaper.
More to the point.
Less Dwayne The Rock
Unfortunately, no
Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. I would recommend this to anyone that loves a good explosion. Anyone that loves like a good action movie. It's just like one of those.
Or a bad action movie.
It's just one of those throwaway action movies.
It's a popcorn
you put
movie.
on like
It's a popcorn film.
Yeah, so probably mainly towards those dads in their middle ages that just dream of
just trying to get away from their shit kids that they hate.
Just want to pretend to be The Rock Johnson for a good 102 minutes. Anything else before we... It's really weird hearing myself with no headphones on. I just took off my headphones to put some deep heat on my neck because I'm really hurting.
Deep heat.
I feel weird listening
Not
to
sponsored.
myself not with headphones on. Is that odd?
I mean, yeah, because
You probably feel weird. Do you want to put the headphones on?
Yeah, I mean, you should spend most of your life without headphones
Like
on.
how far away Jordan is to...
Put the headphones on.
Sorry about that. That was poor timing.
Wow.
Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we head into spoilers?
I
I
don't like this at all.
I do have one. It's a weird combination of my favorite thing and a cinema dick, and I don't really know where to put it, so I'll put it here.
Okay.
It doesn't spoil anything at all. Walking out of the cinema, I shouldn't have said walking. Coming out of the cinema, there was a man also coming out, and he only had one leg. And I thought it was really cool that he went to see a film about starring a guy with
cool.
one leg.
Yeah.
Whether he liked it or not, I have no idea.
I wonder if he feels really poorly portrayed. Or
By a
really
guy with two legs?
Well,
How good was the CG of taking out his leg, though?
Oh, that was amazing.
that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I guess that's in spoilers.
Him not having a leg felt relevant only for some scenes, and then for other scenes...
It was Dwayne The Rock.
He had a
Yeah.
really good fake leg.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was
Yeah.
like something I completely didn't expect to see.
Definitely.
And I didn't stop him to ask if he liked it. Maybe he should have done.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would have been
Hey, Matt,
interesting to see, though.
I noticed you only have one leg. What'd you think of the film?
Yeah. Wow, yeah. But like,
I like to
I guess...
imagine it. It's like whenever I go to see a film and there's a bald guy in the film, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. That's one for the baldies.
I'm not sure if you can put being bald at the same level as missing a leg.
It's a disability.
You're right. You're right.
We're basically this... how hard a life we've both led.
Look, not everyone is blessed with your follicle prowess.
Not everyone is blessed with Jordan's legs.
My follicle legs. That's true. These headphones are driving me insane. I can't do it. Oh god.
Give 'em
I
back.
sound
You
different
did wear
to
them
myself as...
the wrong way. Just so you know. Cool. I guess we'll head on into spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoiler time.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, we're in spoilers where we dissect and divulge all things about Skyscraper. This episode, Cane Dogs, your most positive thing about the film.
My most positive aspect. Look, I actually think the kids in this film did a great job of not being annoying.
I find that really funny, but at the same time, I totally understand and agree with you. Yeah.
In films where there are kids and they're not the main characters, so they haven't chosen like some of the greatest sort of star kid power sort of going around. Anytime there's films and the kids are in there just to be kids of a family, especially if they're just used to be like hostage type deals.
They're normally like a one-dimensional obstacle.
They're
that
always
the hero has to
and they're always
overcome.
really annoying, and they're always sort of more whiny, and they're like, and I think it's almost a really bad portrayal of children in a lot of films. And in this, the kids were able to make rational decisions because although kids are younger and they're not necessarily used to, you know, being in a burning building, like
A birdie building.
being in a burning building.
being in a burning building.
All those birds. Just,
Kids
it does get you.
kids like everybody else have instincts, and they have the ability to make decisions. And this film, they have the ability to, I think this film portrayed kids in a way that didn't make me hate them every time they were on scene. They didn't, like, it wasn't just them like jumping into burning fire and being like, oh no, I'm in burning fire now
Yeah.
because I'm a dumb kid.
I'm a dumb kid. Some adult come and save me,
I'm a dumb
please.
kid.
No.
I'm just gonna go and wander off the edge of this building. The kids in this made like there's a part where they get trapped and it's just the brother and sister.
And they get split up.
And they get split up and one of them's like, you head up there towards the water and I'll go, good, yeah.
Good, yeah.
A 10-year-old to be able to do that. That's not a
Yeah.
like that's fine. Kids walk
Let's
to
just
school.
wait here.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
Yeah.
a lot of like in films when that happens, they'd both just sit next to the burning fire and cry. Whereas, like
Oh,
kids
no, the fire were bad.
are yeah, exactly. Kids
Oh,
are
hot hurt.
Oh, what's this bird doing to my head?
Oh, what? There's so many birds flying up from the floors
many
There's so
below.
many birds in this building. Oh no.
Birdman, your most positive thing about the film?
I gotta say the CG.
Yeah?
CG was so good. There was like every second shot had a CG element. I would even say that 2 out of 3, or in fact 3 out of 4 shots had a CG element where there was just fire in the background or whatever. And all of it looked great.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
I think because it was subtle, like...
Yeah, it was fire
besides,
burning
like,
up a
the
skyscraper.
massive building.
Fire usually kind of like very well known for being really hard to do
Yeah.
because fire just looks wrong when it's CG. But all of this fire looked like fire.
Looked fire. Yep.
Good
Looked
job.
fire.
Yep, it looks pretty fire,
No.
Jordan. So
Fire.
Jordan
It's
been a long
says it
day.
looked fire. I said that it looked like pretty good fire. Angus?
Look fire.
Bloody Bonza Fire, mate.
Fair enough.
Bloody Bonza Fire.
good.
Angus,
Bonds
what
of
was
fire.
your favourite thing, your utmost, highest shelf, top quality of this best bit of this film?
The top of the birdie building, I guess.
Tossing up between two.
The time Jordan said birdie building instead of birdie building?
Yeah, that was...
That's Angus's favourite part
That was
of the
probably my
movie.
favourite part of the movie. Yeah. No, I think the relationship between Dwayne and his wife was like that was really sold to me.
Okay.
That relationship, like the chemistry just worked. That, and I really like how much he used duct tape. I was like,
This felt like a weird sponsorship for duct tape.
but I actually really enjoyed it because I use duct tape quite a lot
Yeah.
in my line of work. I'm a businessman. What can I say? But I actually
He just duct taped his neck before he went to sleep. He's
I
working
also
out and
use
it
a
just-
lot of duct tape in my line of work as a duct tape salesman.
also
I
true.
use
Also
duct
true.
tape a lot in my line of work as a duck salesman. I just
I thought you were gonna say.
That is so hauntingly scary, Jordan. Yeah, I sell ducks. I use a lot of duct tape. What? He was like, yeah, well, you
well,
gotta,
like
gotta stop it
eggs.
from flying away somehow.
You sell eggs in a carton. I sell a dozen ducks just duct tape together.
Oh, Jesus.
What? It's duct tape. It's meant for ducks, Brody. It's tape that was made for ducks. It's in the name.
Right
I
now,
thought-
picture in your head what it would be like to tear that tape off one of those ducks.
Poor things.
Well, I mean,
It's like
I can't believe you're picturing that.
it's not like water off a duck's back. It's like duct tape off a duck's back.
duct tape.
tape off a duck's back.
Tape off a duck's back.
It's,
Oh, that sounds bad. Tape off a duck's
Well,
back.
it's the opposite of water, right?
we're not waxing ducks here, Matt.
Oh, I am. That's my business.
A lot of bird talk for a film that has
Angus
no
uses a lot of duct tape in his bird waxing business,
bird waxing.
which is ironic because I use a lot of duct tape in my waxing bird business.
Yeah, you can get a whole lot of different waxings, including the Brazilian canary.
Yeah.
The Brazilian cock. Type of bird.
That wasn't an intelligent link at all, but I love it.
Mate,
Jordan.
intelligent links up, I think.
Taking it back, even though it sounds silly, like it's good to see him use like kind of real everyday implements instead of being like, oh, this building has a jetpack. I just
Here's an M16 assault rifle.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like it
did-
was good that it was still kind of really grounded in reality.
Again, it takes me back to Die Hard, where he uses a lot of duct tape.
Yeah. Although he uses a lot more guns in Die Hard. Bruce Willis used a lot more guns than
does.
than Dwayne.
Because he hasn't sworn off guns.
That's because Dwayne's already got the guns with him.
Boy, he bought the guns.
What a nice one.
Not in his leg.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool to see him do some more like trap stuff.
Yeah.
He laid out like tripwires with the
Yeah.
duct tape or stuff.
Kinda
Or
like
like
Go
made,
Home Alone.
made the old Ewok log trap, but with duct tape.
I'm
Yeah,
just
that'd be
picturing an
cool.
actual log trap now on like...
But with
In a
Dwayne instead of the log.
Just in the Superman position. Fists out.
No, I'm thinking hands by his side, feet first, the way you go down one of those huge slides.
Yeah.
He's just on a swing. And he's just holding to the top. And he's just like, when someone goes past, I'm going to let go. I'm just going to swing it in. Whee!
More
Kicks
like,
kid in face
more
accidentally.
like Dwayne the Log Johnson.
Oh no. We've derailed it already.
Yeah, it's
Dwayne
good.
Logs and...
Nah, that was worse.
Let's go. Let's move on. Let's move on to our most negative Cane Dogs. I know you're jumping out of your seat.
Not really.
To give us negatives.
Am I allowed to have two?
Yeah, go
one
for it.
small. All right.
Why not?
The first one that was just the first sort of nitty negative is, as one of you said, the rapport. I think the rapport established between Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his wife is really good. And I thought that for the first minute of conversation between them, where he's sort of a bit nervous and she's reassuring him. But the bit with the phone, turn it off and on again thing.
You could see that coming.
That was
by
a
the way.
Deadpool
I was
moment,
like,
right?
the
It was
only
and a
reason-
whole pile of foreshadowing.
Like, they could have done that and sort of slid it in a bit seamlessly, where instead of her being like, oh, my phone's broken, I specifically wanted to bring it to you, so you can give me a whole fun lecture about turning it off and on again. It would have been much better if just, say, like, the daughter's iPad stopped working. And the mum just said, oh, if anything's broken, just turn it off and on again. And if you said that once, most people would remember it. And the payoff isn't exactly big enough that you need to remember it.
What they really need is just in the background, they have the IT crowd on the TV,
Yeah.
and just Chris
you
O'Dowd.
turn it off and
try
on
turning
again.
it off and on again.
That'd be great.
Or the son, like his iPad breaks, and the daughter says it while the mother's in the room.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
the daughter's like,
something
oh,
like
just
that.
turn it off and on again.
Yeah,
And
everything
the,
works.
the,
You turn
the
it off
mother's
and
in the
on
room, so she hears it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have to make it a whole thing.
And it didn't ruin the rapport for me, but it ruined one of the stronger rapport building conversations that was necessary for the film. Because it was just like, she says turn it off and on again like 4 times, and he says it 3 times in the space of like a minute. It's like, anything's broken, you turn it off and on again. I grab your phone, I turn it off and on again. Because when something doesn't work, you turn it off and on again. She's like,
Then he turns to the audience.
Yeah, he's like,
goes,
turn it
"Remember,
off and on
kids."
again. Yeah.
Turn it off and on again.
Yeah. And then she's like, turn it off and on again. I'll remember that. Next time it's broken, I'll remember to turn it off and on again.
Turns
Next
into
time
a
it
sing
goes-
along. You've got the
And,
dot
like,
over
it
the
was-
He
subtitles.
decides to mix it up, turn it off, and then back on.
Turn it on and off again.
But before you turn it on, make sure you turn it off first.
Turn it
Switch it off, and then power it back up again.
Yeah, like it was
Power off,
literally,
power on.
it was that. For
Power
like,
down, power up.
and as that happened,
Take your finger, press the power button, wait a couple of seconds, press it again.
if
that doesn't work-
we should turn Brody off.
Then bloody nothing will.
Look at him.
Let me just open
Raging.
Brody up.
Oh.
All right, I pressed his on button.
All right, plug him back in.
Okay.
Oh, we both went in different directions, and Angus is by far worse.
Obviously we went with Terminator because it's both bloody mechanical and biological.
A shit movie.
Boom. Jordan should have seen that.
Whoa.
Should have bloody seen it, Jordan.
Angus space. For someone that can't turn the neck, you're bloody looking up the wrong tree.
I better
That's
watch my
fucking-
back.
I still find it crazy that Jordan's never seen any of them. That's insane. Anyway, Jordan.
For those of
the
you that
worst
don't understand the in-joke, Terminator 2 was my favorite movie of all time.
thing. That's getting cut out.
Bro, man. Yo.
Jordan had a second.
I had
Jordan
a second. The second one I have specifically is, it was the classic case of a guy commits like a murder, and to prove that he's not guilty, he hires a detective, and for some reason he always hires like the greatest detective in the world. And this was a case of, if you're gonna get a fall guy to inspect the building, don't get your old military friend who's still as buff as an ox. That's probably the only guy ever that could foil your plan.
Yeah.
Just pick any dumb insurance
O'Dowd.
company, and they will send some weedy guy in a suit and then steal the iPad off him. Before I say any more nitpicks, Brody, what is the lowest level of the birdie building?
The worst part for me is that I so didn't buy his wife as a naval surgeon. And it would have fixed it for me if just for the entire film, she just had a ponytail. Like, seriously, it's like, it's such a thing that's like being in the army, being in the navy, is that you're like,
Hair back?
if you got long hair, you put your hair up, you put your hair back. And it becomes a part of your daily routine where it's just like every morning it's like the first thing you do. And it's just like, I just didn't picture, I was just like, she's got such a weird haircut for someone that used to be in the Navy. And what's weirder is that earlier on when we saw her in the emergency room, she had blonde hair and she had her hair back and like hair up. And so I was like, oh, she looks like a naval surgeon.
Dwayne,
and the rest of the film, I was like, who is this person?
Dwayne Johnson has put down the gun and she's put down the hair tie. It's symbolic.
But then, if the building's set on fire, if she just put her hair back, because she punches up some people and stuff, and she's running around doing all this crazy shit, and I was just like, I just do not picture her as a naval surgeon. I was just like, for some reason, just as soon as that scene went away, I was like, she just seems like a kind of a weird stay-at-home mum.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I did like how strong she was though.
Yeah.
Like she could like actually beat up some guys.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was
because
good.
she was a naval surgeon. She knows how to do that stuff. She just.
So your problem was
I
like
did like
she
the
just doesn't
scene-
look like a naval surgeon
Yeah.
in
I
like
did
a not uniform costume.
I did like the scene where she's talking to like the CIA or the FBI or whatever it is, and one of the women in that scene starts talking in a different language,
Yeah.
and she can just also
She's
talk
just
that
like-
language anyway.
Yeah. So
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Angus,
Okay.
your worst part of the film.
My worst impersonation.
Your worst impersonation of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Go. Yep,
That is pretty
that's
bad.
pretty shit.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you. Now for my
Jordan's
most.
is worse though.
Yeah, it just sounds like this.
Yeah, that's the least manliest thing I've ever heard.
Oh no.
That is pretty weird.
Utes. The beer. I don't know, football.
All of which you do not own.
No, I do not drive
have.
for Ute. I do not drink beer, and I do not care for football. This has been very eye-opening for me.
And Jordan, there are 4 footballs, and you don't
Yeah,
care about any of them.
I don't care about a single football.
No codes. My most negative thing about the film, probably the main bad female antagonist. She had like absolutely
Nothing to do.
She was a nothing character.
Yeah, she was a
She
nothing
could have
character.
been really cool as well.
Like, yeah, she could have been an interesting character.
They just didn't do anything
She
with
was
her.
just a bad person in a leather outfit. Let's head on to the trailer and how much of the trailer was actually in the movie. Not a lot. Not a lot at all.
And the other thing is that jump that's in the trailer, is within like the first 20 minutes of the film as well.
Yeah.
Which I expected it to be like I'm glad it's not the end thing, but that scene is more thrill-seeking and more thrilling and sort of more enjoyable to watch than what they did at the end of the film.
Yeah.
So it's just a really dumb decision. But the part where he says like, nobody really knows what would happen if anything went wrong in the trailer. I really liked that. That one line.
Yeah, it was
got
a
me
really
excited
good
for
line.
it, and then just cut the whole thing.
They just go to Dwayne just rocks up to the meeting, goes, "Yep, you've done it.
Nice pun.
It's good."
It's weird that it feels like they cut all this stuff, but in the same time they left in, "I'm behind you."
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the very end,
Oh, it's so dumb.
"I'm behind you."
Do you think I'm the real Quaid? Because I am.
God, we should go back and watch that. Can we watch
Totally
that movie
cool.
together?
Yeah, we
It's
can do a-
so
It's
good.
fucking insane,
a review
man.
of Total
Like
Recall.
seriously, it is crazy stuff.
You know, one thing I like that's been consistent in Dwayne The Rock Johnson films is they never get rid of his tattoos.
Yeah.
And so it
Which is
makes
good,
I
yeah.
like it because I like to think that it's a continuity thing, and
Even
he's
if
the same
it's
character.
animated, they animate the tattoos.
I like to think though that it's canon that he plays the same character in every film.
the Dwayne The Rock Johnson universe.
Yeah, I like to think that like Fast Five and
RJU.
like Fast Five and this and
Dr. Jew.
wow.
The Dr. Jew. The Dwayne The Rock Johnson universe.
I like to think that Baywatch and Fast Five and this movie are all like the same character. They're all
Isn't that a
connected.
really exciting one? Yeah.
He does have good tattoos for it though, because they're not like some like it's not like the Punisher or something.
not
Yeah,
like-
they're all.
They're kind of
Yeah.
they're like black.
It's not like Will Smith's finger
Patterns.
tattoo now that says Squad because of the Suicide Squad movie, and they all thought they'd get tattoos.
Yeah.
What a mistake! They probably think about now, but
They probably made a lot of money off
what
that
a,
film.
what a mistake they
They
all
could
are.
probably afford to laser it up if they really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
probably.
sure Will Smith isn't too heartbroken.
Cool. I think we might wrap it up there,
Yeah,
dudes.
that's probably
Yeah,
enough.
very nothing.
Very nothing film.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, as we've found out today, good to pick apart with your friends.
Yeah, no, go watch.
Yeah.
This
It's
would be
like
a fun film to watch.
cheese and garlic pull apart. It's made out of bread and it tastes real yum.
This
With
could be
your
a fun.
friends fighting over it.
Eat it up.
Cane Dogs, you wanted to say something?
Eat it up.
I was just gonna say this could be a fun film to watch with a bunch of friends to like make fun of in
Yeah.
the same way that we were talking about Commando. Not much more than that for me though.
Yeah,
it's like a Sharknado film for me.
All right, Cane Dogs. Do you have any
don't.
ideas? Okay, Broadman, do you have any ideas on how we could end this podcast?
If we weren't recording in my place, I would suggest like setting stuff on fire.
I mean, we can do that. I'm open to that.
But his mum might not be.
Right.
Gotta be respectful.
Respect.
I too do not have an idea.
It's really hard to come up with a theme for a movie that's about someone being in a tall building.
Okay, here we go. In this film, The Skyscraper, you've got a pearl on top of the building.
Okay.
What object would you put on top of the tallest building in the world? Go.
Ooh, telescope.
So that you can see how traffic's doing.
That's just like a normal thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like it's like a ball thing. Telescopes are that shape.
I went with the
like,
most. I went with the most anticlimactic. You know what I'm putting at the top of the tallest building, Angus? Bird feeder.
Oh, a balcony.
Hey, Angus.
Yo.
Did you know that this isn't the first podcast we've ever done?
What?
It might sound
Are
like
you
it.
kidding
It
me?
might sound like it was
Nah,
due to our
it-
unprofessionalism.
It sounded quite amateur.
But we actually have quite a lot of these.
How many?
27.
Yeah, right.
You can.
Hello.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I've just been listening to our previous podcasts.
Oh, no way. I didn't
nice.
even realize we had them.
Yeah, no,
Really?
so
Yeah.
wow.
we're on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of them on iTunes that you can
Nice
download
one.
and listen
Yeah.
to. If you want to contact us as well, we're actually you can reach us.
How?
You don't have to talk to me in person like a slob. You can send me a message.
Like on the internet?
Yeah, on the
No way.
internet.
Wait, can we like comment somewhere? How does that work?
There's a way you can comment, Brody. You can actually send us comments on Instagram at @film_pod, and occasionally when we decide to look at it, at Twitter at @film_slice_pod.
That's
You can
right.
even listen to us on SoundCloud and iTunes and YouTube if you're feeling up to it.
That's crazy.
That I'm going to listen to all of that now and comment on everything.
You
Because I'm a
should.
good person.
You should. Good
And if-
people.
if-
Only good people do
only
that.
good
as
people
well.
do that.
If you don't, I mean, look,
You're scum.
I hope.